What's going on, y'all? Listen, um, so I don't know if y'all been following this Jussie Smollett case about the hoax of this so-called hate crime that was supposed to happen back in 2019 during a polar vortex out here in Chicago. Baby, it's the fact that he had his whole entire family just being, in his corner, as they should, publicly. I just want to know what the conversation was going on privately, okay? Because I know somebody had to be like, now, Jussie, please, just tell the truth, okay? Just tell the truth. And I know with some people that's probably still out there that think that he was telling the truth. But let me put this in perspective for you guys, especially the ones, and I'm sorry about the lighting, especially the ones that are not from Chicago or the Midwest and who was not around in 2019 when we had that polar vortex, okay? That polar vortex, okay? Listen, when I tell you it was cold as shit outside that day, damn near half the city, no, the majority of the city shut down, okay? The majority of the city shut down. City of Chicago, like the government, the city buildings and stuff, we were still open. I work for the library, okay? And the library system is within the city of Chicago, okay? So all that's a government entity and all that stuff. So if they not shut down, we're not shutting down, okay? And plus, they use like the libraries and other buildings or whatever as warming systems, okay? So that people that are homeless or whatever, they need shelter, they can come throughout the day, all right? We have a couple of big ones that, stay open till 9 o'clock. Everybody else probably stay open till 6 o'clock or 8 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Depending, because they alternate. That's how our times go. On this particular day, I had to come to work, okay? I had to come to work. And when I tell you it was nobody outside, when I went outside, it was cold as shit. And it's always cold as hell out here in Chicago when winter comes, okay? But it was even colder. We've been prepping this for a while. They told us in advance that this is coming, get y'all shit together, all of this shit. So when this went down, you had to literally hurry up and get up in the car because, baby, you could stand outside for 2 seconds and damn near freeze, okay? That's how fucking cold it was. And y'all know me. I'm a hoodie type of bitch, okay? Thin-ass jacket, maybe a sweatshirt underneath, a hoodie. That's what I wear from fall to goddamn spring, okay? Ain't no putting on no big coat or nothing like that. Bitch, I had to put on the fucking coat, okay? Put on a coat with a couple of sweatshirts, a couple of hoodies on, okay? Hoodie, jacket, and a sweatshirt underneath that, plus a coat. That's how fucking cold it was. And triple up on some gloves, okay? Now, that was just during the day. I left work at night. In the winter, the weather had went down even more, okay? It had went down even more. By the time early morning, when this shit supposed to have happened with Jussie, this so-called hate crime and all this stuff, it was even colder outside. So that's why it didn't make sense to me that you get off a plane, you're supposed to be going to a store or whatever, and then you're supposed to be going to Subway. No, bitch. And you a celebrity, and I think he was going to a hotel or wherever he was at. Baby, you could have got that provided for you there, okay? Like, it just didn't make sense at that moment, all right? And I knew for a fact there was nobody outside. There was barely anybody outside during the day. It damn sure wasn't nobody outside at night. And I work in that area. I work in the area where this happened. And I said, girl, Jussie, who are you fooling, sir? First of all, it's cold as fuck up in here right about now. So if you hear me shivering, girl, that's just what it is, okay? Like, the air is literally right on me and I'm cold. But, baby, he was lying. I said, if it wasn't nobody outside at that time, it is nobody outside at early in the morning. Because most of the time when it's like that, unless it's like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, bitch, Chicago be a desert town sometimes, okay? Especially at that hour. And in the wintertime, girl, we in the house trying to keep warm and we sleep, okay? That's what's going on, I said, now, Jussie, stop playing. Stop playing. Baby, I just knew. I said, in a polar vortex, bitch, we was trying to keep warm. Fuck a goddamn sandwich, bitch. You could have had somebody else go get that shit for you. Why you didn't get it when you came back from the off the plane? That should have been the first stop that you did before you got to the hotel or wherever you were staying at. Why you go to the hotel or wherever you were staying at, then come back out to want to go? It didn't make sense, okay? Driver, pull up to this, so-and-so, okay? Driver, do this, and then take me to my final destination. One-stop shop. It didn't make sense, okay? And he been putting this whole thing on. The brothers, the Nigerian brothers or whoever, baby, all of their tea came out. It was a setup. It was a setup. And if you don't believe that shit after what I just said, it's like put two and two together, common sense. You can't, it just didn't make sense. At least for me, that's how I'm looking at it. It didn't make sense. And then you talking about the relationship between him and the guys, and then you saying that you barely knew him, and then a video came out of you kicking it with them at the club and all that stuff. It's like, child, come on. It's just a lot of lies, okay? I really wasn't following it like that. I didn't know people was actually following it like that. But he had 6 charges, and they found him guilty of 5 of the 6 charges. He facing up to 3 years in prison. I honestly feel as though I will be surprised if they give him some years in prison. If they give him a year in prison, if they give him prison time, period. All I know is he needs to have some consequences for his actions for lying, allegedly, because, of course, he's going to say that he's not lying. But they wasted a whole bunch of resources out here for Chicago. And y'all know my city. My city, we be going through some shit or whatever, but that could have been put to better use for people who actually need it. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Jussie, please go away with us, okay? Go away with this shit. And see, the thing about Jussie is, I feel as though if he would have just came out initially and said, I messed up, I apologize, did his community service and all that stuff in the beginning like he did with the community service. I did think he did. Didn't he have community service at one point? Yeah, if he did that and then apologized and said, the reasoning behind it and all that stuff, and, he probably was a little messed up, probably was on a little bit of drugs or whatever, because, that did come up in the, trial or whatever. My whole thing is this. I feel as though he would have said that initially. By now, he would be back on, we would probably seeing him back on some things. He probably wouldn't have been back on Main Street TV, but he could have been on like a streaming service. You know what I'm saying? He could have been on a Netflix show or an Amazon video show. I believe he has something coming out. Pause. Anyway, but he still could have been out here. Okay? He could have, he could have saved his career. Do I feel like this is going to mess him up completely? I don't know. I think he just needs to sit back for a minute, okay? And I feel as though, depending on certain things, I feel as though everybody can have that opportunity to make a resurgence, okay? To get a little bit of a redemption. You know what I'm saying? We've seen it happen with a lot of, I'm going to say it, a lot of white actors and entertainers or whatever, where they've done some really bad stuff that's most likely was worse than this, okay? And then they go away for a little bit and they come right back and it's like nothing ever happened. Hopefully he can have the same type of situation. He needs to just admit. That's what people want him to do. Just show remorse for what you did. And if you don't feel that he did anything wrong, people gonna still hold him to the fire because of that, okay? So it is what it is. I'm pretty sure I would not be surprised if I hear him say, I told my truth and my truth is my truth. And unfortunately, the justice system got it wrong or whatever. Baby, Chicago was tired of his ass, okay? It was tired of his ass, all right? That is a mess. Child, what else been going on? How y'all feel about that? Have y'all watched we finna change the subject right quick. Oh, this cold air. See, this is why my sinuses and shit be fucked up. This is why I just be so messed up. But anyway, Did y'all see the new show on Amazon Video or Amazon Prime, whichever one you want to call it? Harlem. I spoke about looking at it. I finally finished it like a couple of days ago. Or did I finish it yesterday? I finished it yesterday, okay? It was really good. It was, you know what? It was really good for the most part. It was kind of like predictable in a sense of how they set it up. And when I say predictable, I'm talking about the way that they have like the four friends, and of course you always have your comedic relief. You have your awkward one. You have your, one that's so uptight and socially awkward, and then you probably have your, one that's like the wild child that's all the way out there. So we basically had that type of one. We had that already, that formula already being had. To me, it was almost like, you could say, in a sense, it was like a East Coast Insecure. Because you got your Issa, who was Camille, played by Megan Good. It was good to see Megan Good in this role, okay? She was awkward at times, and I like the fact that, we're getting more of these shows with these black women especially. And you know what? I'm going to just say black people in general, showing us not so in a negative light. You know what I'm saying? We're not out here being, just drug addicts and gangbangers and stuff like that. We out here being actual professionals and trying to succeed in life and, compete and get over and better on certain type of, situations that we have in spaces that have been predominantly for white people or other people besides blacks. You know what I'm saying? So I like that aspect of it. You got Camille, who was trying to go for full professorship at her, what was she, at Columbia, and when Whoopi Goldberg came up in there, bitch, Whoopi Goldberg was playing herself. And it was just the setbacks that she was having. She was, being this teacher that was teaching about love and teaching about, life and stuff like that, relationships or whatever. And she was very popular. She said her class was waitlisted and everything. That means that there was a demand for her class, okay? People enjoy her class. She had a boyfriend played by Mr. Tyler Lefley, a.k.a. Benny from the Haves and the Have-Nots, a.k.a. Diamond from The Paint, okay? Let me just tell you something. When the fuck P-Valley coming back for season 2? Girl, don't. Anyway, where P-Valley coming back, okay? Like, I'm gonna have to hit up Katori, okay? Because, baby girl, where y'all at? Y'all started filming? Okay, fuck. But anyway, they were supposed to go to Paris together, and it was almost as if she was living his dreams and putting her stuff on hold a little bit instead of following what she wanted to do because he was trying to be a chef. And so they wound up breaking up, and then coming back into the picture, she bumps into him years later, come to find out he has a fiance, and y'all know how that shit goes, okay? Y'all already know how that shit was gonna go. Then you have the character Camille, who was the uptight one a little bit, kind of sheltered because, she's privileged. She comes from a privileged background. She comes from money, but she's not trying to take her parents' money anymore, even though she does need it sometimes, okay? In the past, when she tried to venture off on doing what she wanted to do herself. Because at first, they had her in the financial field. She didn't want to do all that corporate shit. She wanted to own her own business. But prior to that, she had some other stuff that she wanted to do. And it wasn't working out. So, of course, it forced her to get money from her parents. But now she's standing up like, nah, I'm not finna do that, okay? Because she got put into this predicament where her shop, they were raising the rent, okay? Bitch, when they said he was the shop owner or the building owner, whoever, was raising the rent up from 20 to 25, what, 2,500? I said, what? Up again? She said, again. I said, well, damn, what was the rent initially? Okay, originally, what was the rent, and then what was the second raise, the first raise up, and then this? Like, oh my God. And it was just talking all about gentrification and everything, because, when you go out there to Harlem has always been like black. Every time I hear Harlem, I've never been in New York, but every time I hear Harlem, I think of Harlem Renaissance. I think of black people. I think of all of that, culture, all of that. But when I hear people talk about it now, they're talking about the gentrification that's happening and, certain people moving in, you know what I'm saying? White people moving into Harlem in those black spaces or whatever. And they showed that when Camille was protesting a particular restaurant that was black and now it turned white and just so happened to be her boyfriend who gonna be the head cook. And she was like, you getting pissed off that we protesting it, but they didn't even put your name on the goddamn, picture or whatever. So how was I supposed to know that you was going to be here? You know what I'm saying? And then, oh, girl, you got that. And not Camille, but Queen, that was her name, the girl with the mama, the privilege, okay? That is, speaking of Empire, Andre wife from Empire. I said, bitch, look at Grace. Boo Kitty. It took me a minute. Somebody was like, girl, that's Grace. I said, bitch, stop playing. And I looked and I said, you know what it is? She got long hair in here now. So I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, that's her. And so she doing her thing. And then, she trying to find love and everything. She's one of those going on dating apps. Let me tell you something. The dumbest shit that she did was going on the first date with this man and leave her purse at the club with him while she go to the bathroom and then come back and her shit gone. Bitch. You deserve that. You deserve that. Because why? Why? Okay? Then fucked around, got with a stripper, and now a little back curious. Now, see that back curiousness that came through at the end of the season on the last couple of episodes? I was a little taken off aback. I said, now, how did this happen? Did we really need it? No shade, because y'all know I'm part of the community, but I'm just asking because we already got a gay girl in the cast. You know what I'm saying? We got Ty, who also is a professional. She went from the corporate world or being in a male-dominated field to, doing her own thing with this queer app, okay, for color people or whatever. And, people trying to buy it, invest in it and everything. And, her struggling with the fact that she's doing this whole thing about black people, black queer people finding love, but yet I'm out here falling for or getting into something with a white girl. You know what I'm saying? It was just shaking her up a little bit. And also with her storyline, I really like the fact that they put in there how black women especially are not heard when we are in pain. Okay, she was going through something. Her menstrual cycle was on for 11 days. She wound up passing out on a train because her back was hurting and she thought it was just cramps or whatever. The doctor gonna say it's just cramps. Oh, you trying to get drugs, you're a drug user and all this stuff. Baby, she passed out at the goddamn airport. Come to find out, she had an ovarian cyst that burst. Okay? And then she had a whole bunch of fibroids. Mind you, they probably would have found this out had the doctor initially at the other hospital did what she asked, was get an ultrasound, do an MRI, do all this stuff, run some tests. But of course, no. He said you're just anemic and you just need a blood transfusion and take some pills, Tylenol or whatever, and you'll be okay. I was like, ugh. And that's exactly what happens. That's exactly what happens, You come in for pain, oh, you're seeking drugs, you're a user, and that ain't even the case, okay? But oh, and we found out that the bitch was married too, to a man. If they come back for season 2, which I hope they do, I need to know what his story is, and I need to know where the hell did Brandon go, because Brandon was pissed. She was like, bitch, you cannot blackmail me into staying married to you, because he wouldn't sign those divorce papers. But then he was like, you think that it's about money because she was going to throw some money at him, but you just made it about some shit now. And then he left. We didn't see where he go or anything. Then we got the girl Angie. She's like the dark-skinned, comic relief, chunky friend who at one point was successful, but then lost it all when, her label went down the drain and her contract went down the drain with it because she was a singer. And she's just leeching off of her rich friend, Quinn. She's leeching off of everybody. And I wish when they come back, she was trying to do different gigs or whatever just to pay the bills and just get out the musical. That shit, the best part of her character was when she went off on the white girl in her head and the black man that was part of the musical about being an Uncle Tom and about, you know, the microaggressions that white people give, especially the white women, you know, and all of that. That was the best part about her character. Her character really didn't have that much depth to me, okay? And I want her story to come alive in season 2. I need to know more about her instead of her just being about the comedic relief. That's it. You know what I'm saying? I need more from her. But other than that, I really did enjoy the show. Like, that first episode when old boy was trying to get with Camille and then she finally let him come in and he was like, no, you gonna lick this ass. When he put them legs in the air, bitch, I said, hold up. Ooh, I said, you confident, huh? It's clean down there? All right, ain't no dingleberries? Okay. You know, Camille said, no, ma'am. No, ma'am, no him, no Sam. I can't do this right about now. I don't know you like that. Okay, let me tell you something. Y'all eat ass. Okay, if you do, how long do it take to get to that? Be honest. On the first time you gonna be licking ass, baby, I gotta get to know you at least a little bit longer before I do that. Because if depending on who you are, baby, all up in that bitch. But let me stop. Oh, y'all, put down in the comments if you saw Harlem. Tell me how you felt about it. I truly did enjoy the show. I'm looking forward to a season 2. Hopefully it's a season 2. But and shout out to Power. They getting back for a season 3. You know, book of Ghosts. That's cool. But yeah, I gotta get downstairs. Okay, finna knock out these last 2 hours of work. You guys tell me how y'all feel, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.